Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. My name is Anne from Anne of Green Gardens. I wanted to do this video to continue to show my garden because I thought I could film my whole garden and put it in one video, but it was getting a little bit lengthy, so I split it into two for at least the finished parts of my gardens. I had a lot of fun filming them. It has now gotten a little bit colder, things are a little bit deader, but I am glad that I was able to show a little bit of the mid to late fall garden before everything turned black and died. I had a lot of fun making this, and I'm hoping that you'll stick around for my future videos, which I plan to continue by showing the garden I just worked on to start, as well as some other improvement areas and a very ambitious anti-rabbit fence project that I've been working on for a while with my dad, and it's still in the works, so I will continue to work on that and film as I go, and hopefully you enjoy this video and my other videos. So thanks for joining me. This is my veggie garden that is enclosed entirely from rabbits and other ground creatures, not limiting squirrels very much because they can just climb over it, and that's all right. But rabbits around here tend to be kind of obnoxious, and I've actually lost a lot of stuff from that. Here's my classically overgrown garden gate and step. I usually have to shove about 5 plants to the side to get through there. My dad helped me put this up, and rather than spend like thousands of dollars on a ready-made fence, we kind of worked on this, dug in a Trex board down a little bit to prevent animals from digging in, and then we did attach this. It's basically rat wire, and I painted all the boards which match the shed color, and my dad helped to put, well, it was literally like all of his idea for the construction of it, but he helped me figure out how to attach everything, and he even made this door, but it's worked out really well. He put some braces here for support, and then to save a little bit, we actually just kind of attached the back wire to the fence that was already there, just to save a little bit, and you know, there was no point to putting wood across the back if we didn't have to. But it is about maybe 18 by 12 feet, so pretty decent. And then I did a lot of configurations, but as you can see, I laid out the pattern of the pavers in a capital I, or an H if you want to turn your head the other way. And this was to kind of just maximize my planting space without taking up too much of the path, to just waste it. And also I wanted to be able to reach everything for weeding and planting and harvesting, and I can generally reach most of it. Occasionally for the back corners, I do have to step into the bed a tiny bit, but I try to do it briefly. And my goal is to not compact the soil too much because I'm planting in this, and I try not to disturb the soil if I can help it. And I'm gonna step into here in a minute, but I definitely need to put this down to get in there. So this is the dill that I did some late season planting on. I did late summer. It grew very quickly, and it seems to like this cooler weather a lot. It has some of its flowering umbel heads, and it looks very cool with the water droplets on it from its drizzling still, but it's had a lot of pollinators, and I've even seen a lot of swallowtail butterflies around, and they've laid their eggs, so I was able to kind of look around and find a lot of swallowtail eggs and then the little caterpillars, and I think the birds probably ate most of them, which is kind of sad, but it is, you know, what I aim to do is kind of provide life for everything in here. I have pulled a lot of my stuff from the summer. I had cucumbers here. They were pretty diseased, so they were gone. My strawberry patch was enormous, and it went all the way across here, and it was starting to really creep everywhere. If you've grown strawberries in the ground, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I had never grown strawberries before, so I had to learn to just control it better. It looks like I do have a few strawberries around. The one on the left is a painted rock, but that guy is real. So I'll have to go through here and just check out if there's a little bit more to harvest, because I do see a few flowers still. And I still have my nasturtium here. A little bit of a dark wine red colored flower left. It seems fairly hardy though. And then standing down here, looking down here, these were a lot of beans. So there were green beans here. I did a Kalima variety, and then I did a climbing bean that you let it dry on the vine and pick it. So you use it as like a soup bean. And that was a lot of fun because you do pretty much nothing to it. You just kind of let it grow and you check and see if it's dry, and then you harvest. I had about 5 different varieties of tomatoes in here. They are all pulled. There's one tomato left down there. I'm sure I'll get his offspring in the spring next year. And then this middle section is still pretty crowded with things. I just kind of left it to help prevent weeds from popping up, and you know, there's a little bit. This was a variety of basil. I believe this was a lemon basil, so it always smelled really good when I brushed up against it. Still smells good. So it still has a few flowers there, so I kind of just left that. This is a pink celery that I grew, and I did not harvest it appropriately. It looks really good, but I started this in like the spring from seed in my basement. So it has been a little bit of food for a few caterpillars, which is fine. But I think it's beyond harvestable. I think it's too like woody and the texture is not quite right. But it is very cool, and I'm hoping to grow it again next year and eat it myself appropriately. I have a few pepper plants which I've left. These are all sweet peppers. I started these guys all from seed, and I do have a few peppers left. Ooh, maybe I'll pick him. Even though it looks like a hot pepper, it's a sweet pepper. And then over here in this busy section, this was the old dill that I had planted in the spring, and I just left it up, maybe to self-seed, I'm not really sure. It did last for quite a while, and I made some tzatziki sauce, and then I was sad that I had no more dill, so I planted the new stuff. And then I planted a whole bunch of herbs that I don't use, including the sage, which I started from seed. And this is a whole lot of parsley, which I started from seed. I don't even like parsley, so I don't really know why I grew it. I thought it would just be fun, and maybe I'd give it away to people, but so far I think I've given it to maybe 1 or 2. Maybe I'll put some in something soon. I don't know. It's so healthy and looks so vibrant, and it's just doing really well in the cooler weather. And I know it did also feed some caterpillars because I saw them on there at one point, so I didn't touch it then. And then I do have a little bit of, this is rosemary down here. And again, it's a lovely herb. I just don't cook with it for whatever reason. My go-tos are dill, cilantro, and basil. And lastly, this was one of my workhorses. This is a blue spice basil, and I got it as free seed from Baker Creek Seeds, and it has done really well. It is finally starting to see some of the effects from the cold, but honestly, like we've definitely had a few freezes, and it's doing so well. So I do recommend this variety for sure. I did have some regular Genovese basil, which I made a lot of pesto out of. I actually mostly made my pesto out of this and this. And additionally, I had my lemon basil. This is the blue spice. This is where I had my regular Genovese Italian basil.
I had licorice basil out in the garden in the flower bed. I had Thai basil. I had another type of basil, and I also tried growing lime basil, and that didn't germinate very well. So I grew 6 varieties of basil this year, which I don't recommend growing that much unless you're a chef.
So that was my vegetable garden that I started in the Veggie garden in 2020. I have future plans to continue, so stick around for more videos. And if you have a question or a comment, again, please be kind and maybe relevant, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. No, I will not work on your garden. Oh, and also I'd like to say that's my story and I'm sticking to it.